rental or a subject to. So the rental or the subject to, and subject to is taking over the loan from someone. That's what you're doing. You're taking over that loan from that owner. So you're controlling the property subject to the original financing staying in place. All right. So what is better? So at everything real estate and money,
money too.
We talk about all aspects of real estate so you can make an informed decision on exactly what you want to do. So let's look at the difference. All right, so we're going to create some things and set some assumptions in place so that it's easy to analyze this here. All right, so let's say the property value is $100,000. And with the subject to, it's saying $100,000 mortgage. $100,000 mortgage is on the property. All right. So with principal and interest on a hard money loan at 10%, it is like $800 something a month. All right. So we're not going to put all that in, but principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, which is your entire payment, let's say is at, I know it's a high, but we're just going to say that $1,000 a month. All right. You have a $100,000 mortgage on the property, and that's what you're paying. All right. So for the conversation here, it's the same thing over here. $1,000 a month payment on this property that this owner is currently making. All right, so you have a property valued at $100,000 in the rental side as well as the subject to side. All right, so now let's say on this one, when you rent it out, you can get let's say you get $1,500. Okay? So we're going to go through this rental scenario first, and then we're going to go to the subject to scenario. So subject to land contract, contract for deed, master lease option. All those things are what subject to means. All right? So you're renting at $500 a month. You get a 12-month lease. After the 12 months, they move out. So because it's a new property, during the 12 months, you rent it out at $1,500. Your mortgage payment is $1,000. That's including principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. You don't have a property manager on this property. You're managing it yourself. So how much do you have left at the end of each month? Exactly, $500. And that's cash flow. All right, $500 cash flow. Now, at the end of the year, 500 times 12 is, what is that? 6,000? Yes. No. What? Yeah, 6,000. Okay, so now that's how much you've made on this property. You're not going to get rich from that, but it's a start. It may pay, I don't know what that's going to pay. It's not going to pay his private school tuition, but that's what you have each year on this one property, provided that no expenses come up. Now, they move out. So now you have to get the property rent ready for another tenant. Well, basic wear and tear, paint, carpet, may just have to clean the carpet, replace one of the vanities in the 2.1 bathrooms. A couple of mirrors were broken and everything. So let's say the repairs are going to cost you 1 month's rent. All right. So we take $1,500 from that. Now you're left with a $4,500 net profit on this one property at the end of 12 months. All right. So now they're out. You fix the repairs. Oh man, the mortgage payment is due. So you got to make the mortgage payment from this. So the mortgage payment is $1,000. Now you're left with what? $3,500 at the end of the year after repairs, getting the rent ready, and put another tenant in the property. So now you're at $3,500. Are you excited about that kind of money? Are you excited about that? Typically, not a lot of people are going to be excited about $3,500 profit in a year's profit. Or I should have said net. Net profit. So let's look at the subject to side, the contract for deed side, the master lease, all those things. So you're not renting. Over here, to rent it, they gave you first and last month rent for security. All right, they gave you that for security deposit. Over here, first and last month rent. Okay, you got to give that back based on repair. So your profit may be a little better than $3,500 because of the security deposit. All right, but here, to buy a property, a tenant buyer, not a tenant over here, you have a tenant buyer here. Now, with a tenant buyer, is someone who has the mindset, someone who has the desire, someone who has the income, but just may not have a few things in place to fully qualify for the property. That's a tenant buyer. Okay, what you're going to do with the tenant buyers is you're going to line them up with credit repair and your team broker. So in other videos, I talked about real estate is a team sport, right? So that's one of the members on your team. And in the training, we go into detail how to find, and we use a script on how to talk to a broker to make sure that they understand creative finance deals. They understand how to get somebody into a property. So you will be dealing with your team broker on there, and we go into detail how to find them, right? So we're putting everything in place. So another thing students have to do is they have to sign a morality clause type letter. And why I do that is because this stuff I'm going to show over here, right here, can be used for evil, right? I won't say most, there are a lot of real estate investors that will put someone into a lease option and with the hopes that they don't go through with it. And you're going to see why in a moment. So I'm just going to give you the overview of it. In the training, we go in detail on how to find it and how to really do this on a regular basis. But you have to use it for good. All right? Hold you to that. So a tenant buyer is going to give, instead of first and last month, they're giving 3 to 7% down. And I don't even like saying the word down. You have to use the word non-refundable option consideration. That does not convey the mindset of equity, right? Having an equitable interest in the property, you would have to evict them. You have to foreclose on them versus evict. Thin line, I show you how to stay on the owner protected side of that thin line. All right, so 3 to 7% down. Let's say we're just going to ask them to give us 6. What's 6% of the purchase price? This is the purchase price here. So 6% of that is exactly $6,000. So that $6,000 will eventually come off the purchase price. But where does that $6,000 go? It goes into Hip Pocket National Bank. Favorite bank to make deposits into. So that's where that money goes. All right, let's look at this here. So how many of you have heard of the RTO store? The rent-to-own store or rent-a-center? Okay, if you never heard of it, these are facilities that will allow you, it's like a buy here, pay here. where instead of having the 70-inch screen TV, the $1,500 or whatever it is to buy one of those, you can buy it on installment payments because you don't have the discipline to save your money to actually buy it. So typically when people buy with that kind of scenario, they're paying a premium, paying more interest. So that is what allows you to, instead of charging $1,500 a month in rent, let's say you're charging $1,800 in their payment. So instead of $500, you are getting $800 a month positive cash flow. All right, that's looking a lot better, right? At the end of 12 months, now you have $96,000, and that's net, meaning this tenant is going to stay in this property because we have them on a 24-month ownership plan. So they're going to stay in this property. So the $9,600 that you collected doesn't have to go into missing a mortgage payment. It doesn't have to go into getting the property rent ready again. That stays in your pocket. Plus the $6,000 stays in your pocket also. So now you're at $15,600 at the end of the year net profit right here versus your $3,500 right there. Take a look at that. Which would you rather be doing? It's a little bit easier to do this, right? But this is where easy gets you. That's where easy gets you. So do you want to, and it's not even harder or easier. This just requires a little bit of training, a little bit of thought process. This right here, you're helping the tenant buyer or the person that you took over the property. Typically, they were a distressed owner. They were the one distressed, not the property. So you're able to help them get rid of that headache, get rid of that arbitrage that's around their neck. Arbitrage, is that it? Yeah. Plus, you're helping the tenant buyer because they can't buy without some kind of assistance, right? So they found a house they like, and now you're helping them. You're helping the mortgage broker get a commission. So you're reaching out, helping all these folks with different scenarios. All right. So I ask again, is it true that rent and substitute, which is better? It's all up to you, right? A lot of people get caught up in the sexiness of doing a rehab or the sexiness of opening a car wash or something like that. But if you go back to my other videos when I talk about the PIF, the positive income formula, it's all about positive income. That's why we do these things. So just keep in check the mindset of why you're doing what you're doing and what kind of legacy, what kind of help can you provide to more people. So just wanted to share this with you. We still do both. And it's just a different way of attacking the same battle of creating passive income or creating positive cash flow so that you can then do what you truly want to do. All right, so this is Ace with Everything Real Estate Money Too. If you know anybody that can benefit from this video, go ahead and share it with them. Check us out on Facebook at Everything Real Estate Money Too, as well as the same on our YouTube channel. All right, talk to you later. Hope this was informative and that you learned something from it. Go ahead and make comments, even ask questions. It's helpful because some people or someone else may have that same question. All right, I'll talk to you later.